My story kind of started out normally, like most people think about life, get a job, raise kids, that type of thing. But the story really kind of got interesting shortly after my 50th birthday. I took some time off, and a family has got some land out in Guthrie in a trust, about 3.5 acres. And I thought, well, I'm going to go build an A-frame out there and have a place to retire when I do finally retire. I was in Tulsa for a weekend. I was staying with some friends, and on the way back to Guthrie, I remember seeing on the television something about grass fires in Guthrie, and I don't know why it kind of hit me in the gut, because most of the grass fires in Guthrie were always well north of where I was. I remember seeing a ditch burned off, and I thought, man, that's part of the grass fires they're talking about, and that's like within 3 miles of the house. I pulled into my place. I noticed that the entire field was just blackened. My trailer was just a twisted heap of ruins. I mean, it was just burnt out, smoldering. You've never seen a fire that hot. So many emotions. Wow. And I'm like, oh, where is everybody? Where are all my things? Because everything that I brought into the motel room was gone. They were gone. Reached in my pocket, my keys were gone. Trying to do something good to help some people, and all of a sudden they're, stealing the last thing that I have, leaving me now without transportation, without housing, without... It's absolutely the darkest, most despairing, scariest thought in the world. You have nothing, and I can't overemphasize the despair. It's a sense of just absolute loss. Where am I? What am I going to do? I was down on the river, living on the river for about 2 years in a tent, and I had a real wake-up call. I literally had a near-death experience. The lightning strike from a big storm that we had that night hit a tree 20 feet away from my tent. And as I'm watching this tree that burst into flames, literally falling towards my tent, the hand of God reaches out and pushes it away from me, because there was nothing that should have kept it from just falling on me and trapping me in there and burning to death. And I decided at that point, whatever you have to do, you got to do, and get yourself out of this situation. Well, easier said than done, but for the next 2.5 years, it was literally a roller coaster. I'm making 2 steps forward, and then I'm taking 2 steps back. So for 2.5 years, I struggled, literally in and out of rehabs, in and out of sober living homes, not being able to maintain a job because you don't have a place to go home and clean up and eat and be ready for work the next day. And I was getting health issues too. My back had been damaged from a car wreck years earlier, and because of the fact that your only mode of transportation is walking or riding a bike, I was pounding the pavement a lot. I probably walked 20, 25 miles every day. And it took its toll, and it finally got to the point where my health was deteriorating, and I knew that it was going to become a really bad situation. So literally the night before I was going to have to call and have my surgery postponed, my caseworker called and said, "Hey, I've got good news for you." And I said, "Well, please tell me, because I need some right about now." And she said, "I got in touch with the people at City Lights, and they're the ones that run the Maybell Bridge Thursday nights out there." And she said they have got a room that you can have. She said, I don't know how long it's going to be for. It could be a week, it could be a month. But at least it's a place that you can, you can leave the hospital and go to, be safe, be clean, and be able to, start your rehab there. And I said, well, anything's better than nothing at this point. I said, let's do it. Everything they did with genuine caring. They went the extra mile. They made you feel loved, appreciated. They didn't remind you of what they were doing for you or where you came from. They simply loved you. They gave everything to you that you needed to regain your dignity is basically what they did for me. I was able to stay there at City Lights Motel for about 8 months. I was one of the last people that left the program from the motel to get into housing. And that allowed me time to recoup from my surgery. It allowed me time to get a job, save a little bit of money, get myself really, kind of back in the mode of living a normal life once again. I don't think words would ever suffice trying to explain how thankful I am. They literally saved my life. I'm so thankful. They've put me back into a position now where, I do have a future. I do look forward to things. I'm functional once again as a human being, and I would do anything for them because they've touched so many lives. They've helped so many people, and they do it with such compassion and such care that, like I said, words fail me as far as being able to describe the thankfulness that I have.